Hello, my name is Christian Ekenes. I work on the JavaScript API at Esri, and today I just want to quickly demonstrate how to use the Symbol Playground in the 3x version of the API. This is the home page of the playground, but I'm going to show you how to navigate here from our documentation. So if you begin at the home page of our 3.16 version of the API documentation, you can click the guide page. And then if you navigate to the menu over to the left and click on Work with the API, you can then click another sub-menu called Graphics and Feature Layers. And there is a page here called Symbols and Renderers, and this is the page that introduces the Symbol Playground. You see an image for it there, as well as a description about how to work with it and why it's beneficial. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the application from here. And if you happen to be in the API documentation, you will also see links to the playground from the symbols and renderers there as well to make it convenient for you. And to demonstrate how the playground works, I also have a sample app here that just loads a CSV layer of USGS earthquakes with a default simple marker symbol. This is a symbol I don't really like, and I would like to do something more custom. So I'm going to go ahead and use the playground to do it. You can see all the symbol options here in the main menu. And since we're working with points, I'm going to use either picture marker symbol or a simple marker symbol, just to give you a feel for the types of things you see. If I click picture marker symbol, this map will open up and it will have a default image here that is grabbed from this URL off to the right. And if you just change various properties, you'll see an update on the map. So it starts at 283. I'll change it to 100, and the width, and then the height I can change to say 250. And you'll see that update on the map. And I can also change the angle, and it'll update there automatically. And not only that, you'll also see the updates happen down in this area below, this darker area where it shows the code, and that's what really makes this app convenient. I don't really have an image readily available for this symbol, so I'm going to go ahead and just use a simple marker symbol. And what I also like about this app is you can change the base map, which allows you to mimic your application. Since my sample uses a light gray base map, I'm going to go ahead and select that to make sure that I get the best visualization that matches my app. So here off to the right, again, you see the properties or simple marker symbol and all the various options. So you don't have to look at the documentation to remember, oh, what styles do I have access to here? You can actually try them out right here to see how they look. I don't really care for some of these. I like the default circle. I'll stick with that. The default symbol size is 16. I'll make it a little smaller, give it 12 pixels. And let's make it a dark blue color here, and I'll make it fully opaque. Now the outline by default is black, so I think I want to change something there. We'll stick with a solid outline, and I want to make this a pretty thick outline and kind of give it a faded effect. So I'll choose a lighter blue, and then give it, some transparency, and then let's make it pretty thick. So I'll give it a thickness of 6. So off to the right, you see a symbol that starts dark and it gets a little faded out towards the edges of the outline. I like what I see there, so I'm going to go ahead and use this symbol. There's other properties here, angle and the offset properties. These don't make sense in this particular application, so I'll just leave those at their defaults. So again, I can use the code that is generated down here based on the settings that I set in this very helpful UI up at the top. What I also like about this is not only do you see what the code would look like inline, you can also click this usage tab and see how it looks like in context to your require statement. So if you're not sure which modules you need to require when constructing a symbol, you'll see those required as they would be in your application. So that can be very helpful. Also, if you opt to use JSON, you can click this JSON button, which will show you the JSON form of this symbol that as it is defined in the ArcGIS platform. So you can load it from JSON that way as well. I prefer to use this inline code because I knew the modules I would need to require ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy that with this convenient button. And then if I go to my text editor or IDE, you'll see this really simple application where I just have a basic map, basic CSV layer, and then I set an info template on the layer. Before I add the layer to the map, I'd like to set the new symbol on it. So I'm going to go ahead and paste what was copied to the clipboard. Let's go ahead and reformat this so it looks a little nicer. And you'll see here that this is the marker symbol, and it is given the name marker, so that's what I'm going to use when I create my renderer. So I'm going to go ahead and create a renderer, a simple renderer, and set the marker symbol as the default symbol on it. And then I'll go ahead and set that renderer onto my layer. Save it. Let's go back to the application and I'll refresh, and hopefully I'll see the new symbol show up here. And there we go. This is the symbol I designed in the playground, and again, it was a pretty quick process of designing it with the helpful UI, and then I just copied and pasted the code. I didn't really have to know a whole lot about the specifics of the constructors or the ordering of parameters or the methods even. It was all done for me by this really convenient playground app. So you can see the benefits right there for why you might want to use it, and it's more convenient than the map viewer in this case because I can't copy and paste code from the ArcGIS Online map viewer, although I can set default renders to the layer. So that is the best way to set a default render on the layer, is to use the map viewer or ArcGIS for desktop and save the render to the service that way. But if you're looking for programmatic ways to change your symbology on your layer, this is the way that I would recommend. It's really simple and easy to use, and again, convenient for copying and pasting your code. So that's the Symbol Playground in a nutshell. So I hope you get good use out of it and found this to be helpful.